to call to order the October 2014 meeting of Springfield Local School Board to order. Mr. Adams, roll call, please.
Mr. Dinkins.
Here.
Mr. Hess.
Here.
Mrs. Dodson.
Here.
Mr. Hofer.
Here.
Mr. Whelan.
Here.
All right, if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, we do want to welcome, we got some college students here that are taking notes tonight on today's meeting. They're in intro to education. We want to welcome you guys here tonight. So if you guys have any questions during the meeting or at the end of the meeting, please let us know. Welcome. All right, we do have a few presentations. Item number 4 on our agenda, we have a Schropp Intermediate School presentation. I think Mrs. Kern's going to do it, right? Okay. Yeah. Betty?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about, we started a cross-country team at Schropp this year. And so you're going to get to watch some of the kids while I talk that were on the team. Hopefully that's going to go away. There it is. Okay. Is that good? I was fortunate enough to go through Springfield schools and go to Schropp, but as a junior high or not as an intermediate school person. And I was given a gift when I went to Schropp, and that was the gift of running. And it has taken me all over the world and to college. And some of my best friends still are the people I ran with in school and the people I run with today. And so I think maybe though, as you watch these pictures up here, probably one of the best things right now is passing that love of running on to some of these little kids that I'm having the pleasure to work with. The league that we participated in this year is called the ATC Cross Country League. It's in Summit County mostly, although Jackson does participate as well. Dan Lansanese, he is the coach of St. Vincent St. Mary cross country coach. He runs this program along with some disability programs in the area. Some of our kids who have disabilities know Dan and the work he's done. It is for 8th grade students and under and any age person with disabilities. They had 5 cross-country races this fall. We hosted one, as you'll see with the Cinder Trail, or the Limestone Trail is our trail at Schropp. And so we got to host one meet in October, which was a lot of fun. The distances are 2 mile for 7th and 8th graders. 4th through 6th graders can run 1.5 miles, and then there's a race for any age of 1 mile. So most of our 4th graders ran the 1.5 miles. We had a couple 3rd graders that ran that. All of our 5th and 6th graders ran the 1.5 miles. And then this is Lily Bittinger. She goes to, I think she's at Spring Hill. No, I don't know. I get confused. She's at Young. She's a 1st grader, and she ran with us this year. And she, as a matter of fact, finished 1st among all of our 3rd grade and under on Sunday. So my favorite story about Lily is, from day one, she's literally this tall. She would say to me, "Coach Kern, slow and steady wins the race." And pretty soon she's passing all the 3rd graders and under because of her little slow and steady. Her mom's a runner, so she's loving it. We had 45 kids on our team this fall, which I was so excited about for our first year. And 6 of them were elementary and younger. The rest of them were at Schropp. We began training in the summer. We did an all-call to invite anyone that wanted to come, which is how we got some of the younger children involved. And we met 1 day a week until August, and then we met 2 or 3 days a week in August. And then once school started, 4 days a week after school with the Schropp kids, and then I stayed late Tuesdays and Thursdays for the younger elementary kids to come down to Schropp, and we practiced. You can also see the interesting thing about cross country is we have meets where it is obviously very hot, and then meets where it is obviously rather chilly. We did get 2nd place at the Jackson meet for our boys 5th and 6th grade. The parents did pay the fee to participate in the league, which covered their league fee and their t-shirts. Probably some of the most exciting things that happened The little one in the corner is a preschooler. If any of you know the Ritterbeck family, that is Lindsay. She's the youngest. There's her brother Larry, who's in 8th grade running, 7th grade, who's a runner. So the whole Ritterbeck clan that can walk are running with us. Jackson is still in a stroller, so he's not running with us yet. So we've really got a lot of family participation, which has been great fun. When we hosted the meet at our school, field coach was there, and he said, "What is going on in Springfield with running?" And so, you gotta like that, because field has won, it's been really big in the league for forever. And our high school boys, by the way, beat them at the league meet. And so that was a huge victory. So for the field coach to be going, "What's going on with all these little Springfield people running?" That was very satisfying. When we hosted our first high school meet at Waterworks, the Barberton kids wanted to know if Springfield was known for running. And you have to know, as a person who started coaching in the era of Ray Fowler, and it was all softball, and it was very hard to coach track and cross country back then because all the kids wanted to play softball, all the girls. That was sort of a satisfying moment that they said, "Oh, is Springfield known for running?" Because there was 100 kids running around from our age kids through high school. So yes, we said Springfield is known for running. Of course we answered that. Another really positive thing is there's a family, and I won't mention names, who has a couple of children enrolled in Mogador, open enrollment, who are now coming back to Springfield next year because of wanting to get their younger children involved in running. So these are some really positives that have come out of just the very first year participating in the league. Most of you know we've been doing Running Club at Schropp. This is our 4th fall of Running Club. We have 130 kids signed up this fall for Running Club. So 3 days a week, the Running Club has been there with cross country. Cross country kids stay about 20 minutes later and practice. The other really fun thing has been the families that have started getting active as well. As I mentioned, the whole Ritterbeck clan, and now the mom, Kat, is running as well, sometimes after practice. And a lot of the moms who used to run stay and run at practice, particularly in the summer and when they pick their kids up. So that's been a really positive thing. Talking about the trail for just a minute that you all helped put in at Schropp. One day when I was out there, a lady was walking, and I stopped her and just sort of asked, "Who are you? I see you walking a lot." And she lives across the street. She said her and her husband use the trail every single day, have lost 25 and 20 pounds each. So there's a lot of community use of the trail, which I think is a really big positive, and also for the use of the grant that we were given, Creating Healthy Communities. I think this is all playing in together to help create Springfield as a healthier community. As I mentioned, Running Club. We are holding a special event on the 30th. It's called the Glow Run, and the kids will run through the decorated woods, and that's open to anyone, cross-country, Running Club, or any kids. So as I mentioned earlier, what we're really hoping to foster here is a love for running, a love for activity that the kids will then take with them. That little girl you saw just a minute ago is Olivia. She just can't wait to come shop. She's at one of the elementary buildings, and "Can I just skip 3rd grade and come on up?" And I'm like, "No, honey, I think that would be bad if you skip 3rd grade." So it's just exciting to see the kids so excited about running. Today, again, a couple of the boys asked me, Enzo Rockich and Alex Watson, "Can't we do cross country again?" I said, "Yeah, honey, next year." No, like now, this year. And I'm like, "Well, no, we can't." But there is ATC track program in the spring. Considering that, putting the call out right now that I would need help, okay? So track is a monster to coach, and you cannot do it by yourself. So anyway, it was really rewarding, and you can see the kids did well at the league meet, or the final meet. Our boys placed 3rd place, just a mere 4 points out of 2nd out of 7 teams, and our girls placed 4th out of 17th, the 5th, or overall. That was taking all age levels together. Any questions about the program? Or?
Comments?
Yes.
Betty, thank you for your dedication. I can't believe it's been 4 years already for Running Club.
I know.
And that the trail's been there a year already. This is such a fantastic program because you're making a difference in those kids' lives. And what a great lifelong
healthy activity for these young folks.
Thank you. And that's how I look at it. You know, I think back of people I ran with, and some of them, you know, went on to run very competitively, and some of them put running away for a while and picked it back up through their adult life. And that's really the goal for these kids. You know, some of them will be great runners. We have some serious talent among these children. And some of them will never be great runners, but hopefully they'll be healthy their whole life. And that's
Right.
really, you know, the message trying to get out to the kids. So thank you for your support, and it's been a pleasure, especially working with these little kids. You know, I always coached the high schoolers, which I loved, but these guys are just so much fun. They're so much fun, as you can see by their
What you're
smile.
doing meshes just so well with what Coach Gorby has created up here. Just a sidebar, I know with Coach Gorby, we have indoor track that he started a year ago. We're looking at about 100 kids up here at the high school for indoor track this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you're the foundation for this monster track program that I think we're building here at Springfield. So
Thank you. I
Thank
think
you
s-
very much.
yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And I want to echo what Mr. Stauffer said. You know, and it's not, and you said it in your presentation, Betty, it's not just the kids at Schropp. Now you've got their younger siblings that are in our grade schools, the high school program, and then the community. I know I'm out there for youth football quite often and stuff, and I see what's going on that trail, you know, 3 days a week and stuff. So kudos to you, you know,
Thank you.
obviously with the Schropp program and stuff, but it's made an impact in our entire community. And I think you know that, and I want to just make sure everybody's aware of that, because it's now 2 or 3 generations of families that are impacted by what you're doing at that program. So congratulations, done a great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
the
appreciate
easy
it.
part was for myself and the board to rubber stamp your idea. It was Betty's dream. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
You know, I just have one concern. Someone told me that mini bikes or four-wheelers have been on the track. Do we have any signs up or?
No, but that's probably a good idea. Yeah, one day when I was out there, we had just finished practice, and a couple mini bikes came over and ran through once. I think they saw us, so they went ahead and left. But yeah, I was glad all the kids were off the trail, because that's
Right.
definitely a concern. And they no sooner went around and they left. So of course, you know, in my shyness, I probably would have said something to them. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea, that we probably need some signs up.
I made a note of it.
Get those, it's private property anyway. Public property.
Anything else?
Just thank you very, very
Okay,
much.
thanks. Yeah. Thank
Wonderful,
you.
wonderful
Yeah,
program.
grab the lights, I don't know if somebody can, okay. I don't know if there are out there more people waiting to come in for the meeting. Now's a good time to come on in.
Come on in, kids.
More students.
You know, when you
I guess
arrive,
they're not
when you
kids,
arrive, when you arrive late, you got to sit up front.
It's just like church.
If you live in Springfield, you gotta take a sign.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're assuming you're from the college class that's here to observe.
University of Akron? Okay, very good. Welcome.
Go Zips.
All right, we're into item number 4. We were scheduled to have a report from Jolene Reinhardt, our curriculum director, on the district report card. She was unavailable tonight. She had family things she had to attend to, so it's going to be on next month's board meeting. So she
correct.
apologizes, but she'll be here at next month's meeting. So moving on to item number 4.3, we have a presentation from Superintendent Mr. Stauffer on our upcoming renewal items, our levies 5, 6, and 7.
Okay. I guess I'll stand for this, Angela. I guess I need a microphone. Okay, very good, thank you. Just want to remind everybody that November the 4th is Election Day. The Springfield local schools have 3 issues on the ballot. Our issues are issues 5, 6, and 7. And these are renewals. They come due every 5 years. We renewed these 5 years ago. These are not new taxes. These are renewals. This money is used to operate our schools. Some people sometimes mistake what this money's for. It's not for a bond issue. It's not for building schools. It's not for necessarily maintaining permanent improvements in those schools. It's for the day-to-day operations. It pays salaries, It pays the utility bills. It pays for supplies and materials in the classroom for teachers. It literally is day-to-day operations. These levies produce over $4 million a year. What was the percentage of the budget, Chris?
Close to 20%.
Yeah. These are vital for the operation of the school. I always say that renewals are the lifeblood of the district. They truly are. To lose $4 million in our budget in a year, that's literally 40 to 50 teachers. We can't operate without the renewal of these levies. Failing these levies and losing that money, that would send us right back into fiscal emergency, and nobody in this community or district wants to see that happen. We have not asked for new money since I've been here in the 7+ years. We don't anticipate to ask for new money in the next several years. Our budget looks good. Mr. Adams is going to talk about a 5-year forecast in a little bit, but we don't anticipate having to ask for new dollars in the next several years. We manage our money here very, very well. We literally watch every penny that we spend. I made that pledge and promise when I was hired. I said that the first meeting when I was hired, and we have done that. We've been good stewards, I believe, of the community's dollars to this school district, and I ask the community to continue their support with the passage of issues 5, 6, and 7 November the 4th. Our students deserve this community's support, and this community has shown us, I believe, over and over again that they support our schools when it's affordable and when it's needed, and this truly is. So I'm going to say ahead of time to the community, thank you for your support, because I know November the 4th they're going to support us at the polls. We do have some levy signs, if anybody'd like to take a levy sign before they leave. We also have some postcards if you'd like one of those, and we're going to be passing these out Friday night at the games. These will be going home with report cards to elementary students as reminders to parents, but please get out and vote. We need every vote. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Welcome.
Moving on to item number 5, approval of minutes. It is recommended the board approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 16th, 2014. They are listed in Exhibit 1.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Whelan.
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins.
Yes. Item number 6, citizens' comments on agenda items. Citizens' comments on agenda items are welcome at this time. Okay, seeing none, we move on to item number 7, payment of bills monthly. It is recommended the board approve payment of bills for the month of September pending audit. They are listed in Exhibit 2.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson.
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins.
Yes.
Mr. Whelan.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Item number 8, payment of bills then and now. It is recommended the board approve a resolution for payment of bills per ORC Section 5705.41D. They're listed in Exhibit 3.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Okay. No, you seconded?
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
Okay. Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Whelan.
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins.
Yes. Item number 9, acceptance of financial reports. It is recommended that the board accept the financial reports from the treasurer for September 2014. They are listed in Exhibits 4, 5, and 6.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Dinkins.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Whelan.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson.
Yes.
Item number 10, personnel. It is recommended the board accept and approve the following personnel items. Item number 10.1, tenure. Approve tenure for Steve Schaefer, who was initially licensed on or before January 1st, 2011, holds a 5-year professional license, has appropriate credit hours previously held tenure status and has at least 2 years' experience in the school district and is therefore recommended for a continuing contract effective the 2014-15 school year pending proper documentation to meet requirements. Item number 10.2, employ the following as literacy leaders or substitutes for the everyday reading program for the 2014-15 school year. Salaries will be paid from federal grant funds. Amy Leporis, Candace Reaney, and Joy Kettering. Item 10.3, employ the following as 2-hour cafeteria employees per the negotiated contract pending proper licensure. Carol Zeitler, effective 9/29/14, and Regina Goldinger, effective 10/6/2014. Employ Julie Davis as a 2-hour educational assistant per the negotiated contract pending proper licensure, effective 9/29/14. Employ the following as classified substitutes per the negotiated contract pending proper licensure, effective first day assigned. Joy Kettering, Loretta Mook, Jelena Pajic, Holly Kraft, and Brandy Nagel. Item 10.6, employ Loretta Mook as a substitute bus monitor per the negotiated contract pending proper licensure, effective first day assigned. Item 10.7, employ April Lauer as a 12-month secretary to the business manager at step 13 with 4 weeks vacation per the exempted employee's benefit and salary agreement pending proper licensure, effective October 20th, 2014. Item number 10.8, non-sport supplemental contracts. Approve the following non-sport supplemental contracts for the 14-15 school year. There's a bunch of them, and they're listed. I will not read all of them. Moving on to 10.9, sports supplementals. Approve the following sports supplemental contracts for the 14-15 school year pending proper licensure. The same with these. There are a number of them. I'm not going to read them. They are listed also. Item 10.10, volunteer coaches. Approve the following volunteer coaches for the 14-15 school year pending proper licensure. Glenn Smith, volunteer JV boys bowling coach. Rob Critchfield, volunteer JV girls bowling coach. Jordan Carr, volunteer wrestling coach. And Jason LaRue, volunteer wrestling coach. Item 10.11, retirement resignation. Retirement resignation of business manager Dan Laskos, effective March 1st, 2015. Item 10.12, increase of work hours. Increase the work hours for Phyllis Holmes by ½ hour per day from 7 hours to 7.5 hours. Item 10.13, resignation. Resignation of teacher Lori Henry, effective no later than January 15, 2015. The actual date will be dependent upon securing a qualified replacement for Lori. Retirement resignation, item 10.14. Retirement resignation of cafeteria employee Beverly Telez, effective January 1st, 2015.
So moved.
Second?
Just a couple of comments on those. On the sports supplementals, the one new head coach that we have on there is Mike Gassaway, head softball coach. He's actually, and we won't hold it against him, a Mogador guy who lives in Mogador. He actually works on the Lakemore Fire Department as a volunteer. He's also a paid Coventry firefighter. He was recently the head coach at Kent Roosevelt. Would still be at Kent Roosevelt, except we have an opening here, which is closer to home. He likes the Springfield tradition. He wants to be here rather than at Kent. His references are great. He's played softball most of his adult life. He went to the University of Maryland as a baseball player and actually was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're excited to have Mike as our head girls softball coach. They have 3 girls teams playing at the Spano Dome, I understand, and the girls are getting after it, and we expect great things out of them this season. Lori Henry's resignation is due to her husband being transferred with FedEx to Pittsburgh. So Lori will be following her husband there, of course. In her case, the sooner the better, she hopes. But that also opens up a girls' basketball coaching job for us as well. So Kevin Vaughn will be conducting interviews tomorrow evening. And I'm sure the next time we meet, we will have a recommendation for a girls' basketball coach. But good luck to Lori. She's a great teacher for us, and we're going to miss her. And I know some of the girls sitting here played for Lori, and I can see the looks on their faces. And finally, sitting at the end, we have Dan Laskos, who's going to be retiring after how many years here, Dan?
28.
28. Thank you for your time, dedication. You're going to be missed. You do a great job. People don't realize how much work Dan does and how many decisions and things he does on a day-to-day basis. So thank you very much. We're going to miss you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Moving on to item number 11, fund transfers. Recommend that the board approve a resolution authorizing a transfer from the General Fund 001 to the LFI Construction Fund 004 in the amount of $2,882.98.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Item number 12, special education transportation. It is recommended the board deem transportation for Dylan Urbania to be unreasonable, uneconomical, and impractical under present conditions.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes. Item 13, amendment to athletic trainer contract with Summa Health Systems. It is recommended that the board approve the amendment to the agreement with Summa Health Systems for providing athletic trainer services. It is listed in Exhibit 7.
So moved. Second.
On this amendment, this is a savings to the district of about, it's greater than $20,000. We're no longer going to pay for Kyle Rutledge's trainer services. They're going to be provided to us at no cost in return for the advertising that we already do for Summa. So this is a great deal for the school district.
Awesome. Great.
That's a good deal.
And Kyle does a wonderful job for us.
He does.
Great.
Mr. Did we already call the vote? No, we already did, didn't we?
You already called roll? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we did.
Called. We have to
You
vote.
got to call roll.
Yeah, call
We had a
roll.
first and a second.
Okay. Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Moving on to item number 14, PRN therapy agreement addendum. It is recommended the board approve the addendum to the agreement with PRN Therapy to add sign language interpreter services. It is listed in Exhibit 8.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Item number 15, lease agreement with Kungle Trucking Company. It is recommended the board approve a lease agreement with Kungle Trucking Company, Inc., beginning August 1st, 2015 through June 30th, 2017, at the rate of $3,500 for facilities to be used for the purpose of transportation, parking, and repair, and the auxiliary services needed for such a program.
And that's $3,500 per month.
That's I'm just going to ask that.
So moved.
Second.
This lines up everybody's lease agreement with Kungle. First Student has their offices there now, so their lease would expire when our lease expires. And it also coordinates with our contract with First Student as well. So they all end 2017.
Just makes good business sense.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes. Item number 16, SLACT Memorandums of Understanding. 16.1, a master agreement extension. It is recommended that the board approve an MOU with the Springfield Local Association of Classroom Teachers, SLAC, to extend the current master agreement through August 20th, 2016, that is listed in Exhibit 10. And then item number 16.2, teacher evaluations. It is recommended that the board approve an MOU with the Springfield Local Association of Classroom Teachers regarding evaluation procedures for teachers. That is in Exhibit 11.
So moved.
Second.
On both of those, on the contract extension, that just extends the contract out an extra year. The current conditions of that contract are exactly the same. So for the first 3 years in that contract, teachers got a 1.5% increase on the base. So the extended year will also be a 1.5%. Nothing changes with insurance. Everything is exactly the same. With evaluations, this just keeps us in line of what the state law is now. There have been some changes with evaluation. We're doing the evaluation system that the state of Ohio requires. No biggie there, just a few changes to the evaluation piece.
Right.
One other thing before we vote, well, go ahead and vote, and I'll say when we're done. Never mind.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Okay, now I'll say, we're expecting a memorandum of understanding from both OPSI groups as well, number 179 and group number 530. We expect them to extend their contracts as well by a year. Once we have that signed memorandum of understanding from both of those unions, and they have voted, we will call a special board meeting for you guys to approve it as well. So that should be within the next week or two.
Moving on to item number 17, five-year forecast. It is recommended the board approve the five-year forecast listed in Exhibit 12.
So moved.
Second.
And I'll go over that on my treasurer's
Presentation.
presentation. Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Item number 18, amended appropriations. It is recommended the board approve the amended appropriations for fiscal year 2015, listed in Exhibit 13.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes. Item number 19, donations. 19.1, automated packaging systems. It is recommended that the board accept a donation of 45 Cisco 7940 desk phones and 24 Cisco AP1242AG access points with an estimated value of $2,000 from Automated Packaging Systems in Streetsboro, Ohio. And item number 19.2, Step 2, it is recommended the board accept a donation of a wagon from Step 2 to be used in Mrs. Pendergast's classroom at Spring Hill Elementary.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 20, that's the treasurer's report.
Which is our favorite topic, the five-year forecast. For the audience and for the people out in TV land, five-year forecast is a state mandated report that all treasurers have to do. Initially, it was put together so basically boards of education could understand the financial health of the district presently and going out for 5 years. The forecast itself is just that, and it's getting more and more difficult to basically figure out what's going to happen 5 years from now. And a lot of it has to do with politics. Politics, as everyone knows, impacts all aspects of our life. And it impacts very much so funding in the state of Ohio for schools. We're going to have a governor that most likely is going to win re-election. I think everybody in this room, maybe some don't believe that, but all the polls are tracking that Governor Kasich is going to win. And with that win comes certain assumptions that treasurers around the state have to figure out. I personally believe in my forecast that state funding is going to be stable. The state of Ohio has turned itself around. We have a lot more money. The state has a lot more money in the coffers than it used to, and I think it would be very difficult for a sitting governor to take more money away from public education. We'll see. So my forecast basically thinks that. There's other big ticket items as far as tangible property. They froze the reimbursement levels. I'm assuming that the reimbursement levels are going to stay for the next few years. My 5-year forecast assumes that we're going to get small growth in our real estate, except for the first year we're actually going to see a decline. I cannot put the renewal level in the forecast. I have to put them below. So if you look at your forecast, you'll see our cash reserves go away by 2017. But if you go down to the bottom with the importance of the renewals, it keeps us solid all the way through 2019. So it's a really, when Mr. Stauffer says how critical these renewal levies are, they really show up in the 5-year forecast. We're going to see some cost savings in 2016 because of the STRS retirement changes. We do expect some teachers to take advantage and retire and purchase services. We'll continue to look at every single purchase order. But again, I'm not a fan of the 5-year forecast. Some treasurers are, I'm not. It's just, there's so many variables that you just, for me, I like to have my hands around everything, and at least, I could say, okay, I know what it's going to be in 3 years because we know what we're going to spend. There's just so much going on right now. We can control our expenditures. We can control that. But the revenue side, we cannot control that. There's just too many things outside of our control. But when I got here, this forecast was miserable. We were in the hole. We were borrowing money from the state. We're $2 or $3 million in the hole, and we're still at the end of this year still looking at $7 million. So things are still very, very good at Springfield Local Schools. And again, Chuck's will figure out just we'll work together tough like we did with Bill and maintain that fiscal health. So that's it.
Okay. Any questions for Chris?
No questions.
Okay. Moving on to item number 21, Business Manager's Report. Mr. Laskos?
3 main items have kept my staff busy September, October. We have the transportation reports that we report students and mileage to the state by bus. We have all the updating of the free and reduced lunch applications. And also, this is a year for an audit of food service from the state of Ohio. They'll be coming in December or January to just do their 5-year audit. So it's just been a very busy time, and it'll be my last time of doing that. So I'll be busy with grandkids. So I want to thank the board for a good 28 years. I think this last 4 years have been the best years as far as Springfield moving in the right direction. We have the new building, a great board. I think we have a great administrative staff, and just things have turned around. Springfield really has a bright future, so I'm confident this administrative team will keep going in the right direction. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Dan, we're going to miss you, that's for sure. Still got a few months more here, so
Yeah.
still plug away and stuff.
I
But,
do.
They're tough. They're tough.
I know, going to miss you, that's for sure.
Can't take a lunch break.
Can't put the party hat on yet.
Thanks.
Any questions for Dan at all?
we're taking it off.
All right, moving on. Item number 22, superintendent's report.
Yeah, several things. Next Monday, October the 28th, is the annual Summit County Teacher of the Year dinner. Our candidate for Teacher of the Year this year is Becky Bertoft, a teacher at Young Elementary, who is very, very deserving of that honor. And our Rookie of the Year candidate is Michael Leonhardt from Schrapp Intermediate School. So good luck to both of those. That's always a great night. I know Bobby's going to be there. I'll be there. Chuck will be there. That'll be a fun evening. Hopefully our guys win this year, but they're all winners. Becky is a magnificent teacher, and Michael does a great job for us also. We have been very busy for the past week with the Ebola controversy outbreak that has gone on. There have been lots and lots of emails from the Summit County Health Department. We are on top of things here. There are only 3 people in the entire state of Ohio that are quarantined at this point. 2 of those are in Summit County. We're on top of things, and it seems like the height of that frenzy is starting to subside a little bit. We've been through this once before, I guess, 7 years ago with MRSA in this district, or maybe it was 8 years ago now. This is what that reminds me of. It will die down. Not that we don't take Ebola seriously, because we do. But we're not going to blow it out of proportion either here. Another thing that Mr. Sincere and I are dealing with is we are contacted by WKYC Channel 3 News, a reporter named Matt Anderson, regarding a report that came out from an agency dealing with chemical catastrophes. And the agency is called the Center for Effective Government. And in their report, they say Springfield High School and Spring Hill Elementary School are 2 of the top, out of the top 5 schools in Ohio. They are the 2 top schools at risk for a chemical disaster based on chemical plants and industry that surround us. We don't have anything right beside us. They draw concentric circles around these industries that produce or use toxic chemicals, and we happen to be in 5 of these circles. So that's how we make the top of the list. He's coming in to interview Chuck and I on Thursday, so you may see something on the news. We're ahead of the curve on this, I believe. We have already met with the fire and police departments as to what we would do if there actually was a chemical catastrophe in Springfield or in Summit County. Basically, we wouldn't be going alone. We would be taking advice on what to do from the police and fire department. We would stay put until they told us what to do. It may be that we keep the kids in school, or we may send them home. It just depends on what the catastrophe is, and it would depend on what those safety services told us to do. Carolyn and the rest of you folks with the media, you can scoop Channel 3 News, and Channel 15, you can scoop them too, because they're going to be there Thursday, and I'm sure you're going to see something on TV, and I'm sure it'll be sensationalized. I'm sure that we're at no more of a risk for a chemical catastrophe here than we've been in the last 10 or 20 years. But that's, we know how TV operates. So that's it with chemical disasters. The other thing that I've toyed in my mind whether to say anything about this or not, and I'm going to, there was a letter to the editor in the Southside Leader within the past week or so from a local businessman who was upset because he didn't get some of the work that went along with the construction of this new building. And he said because he didn't get the contract that went along with a portion of this building, he was not going to support our levies. Those levies have nothing to do with the building of this building. He said that, quote, when they built the new high school, they did not support the local residents who own construction companies or employed by local companies and that have lived in the township village for decades paying school taxes by giving us the opportunity of working on the school. He says absolutely not. Will he support this? I guess my response to that is Regency Construction Company tracked how many local people did work on this project. This gentleman was upset because this was a union project. We sold the project as a union project. Everybody knew we were going to use union labor, and this gentleman did not have a union operation. That's why he was not eligible for the work. The goal of the project labor agreement is that we would use 30% local people on the project. We actually used 49% local, which is very, very good. A lot of people, local people, made a lot of money on this project. I have a printout, 7 pages long, of individuals who worked on the project and the amount of money that they made. It's substantial. I have a printout 3 pages long of 2 pages long of local companies that worked on the project. This individual also said, how many of you who live here and work in the trades are union members? Well, you know what? I think quite a few. And I think that's why we passed this bond issue 4 or 5 years ago, because we did use union labor. So I'm not going to apologize for using union labor and some people being left out of the project. We have a lot of local people who really benefited from this project, and I know the village of Lakemore also benefited from the project. So sometimes I think when people write letters to the editor and there's some statements made that aren't totally true, sometimes we have to defend ourselves. So that's why I decided to defend ourselves tonight. And this gentleman and I talked on the phone as well. And that's what's great about America. We can agree to disagree, and you can vote however you want. That's what democracy is. But once again, don't forget to vote on November the 4th. Please support us with issues 5, 6, and 7. And that's it for my report tonight. Thank you.
Any questions at all for Bill? Okay, moving on to item number 23, items worthy of your note. October 24th, already the end of the first quarter. October 30th, high school and junior high school, that's 7th through 12th grades, report card pickup from 4 to 7 p.m. That's October 30th. On November 5th, we have another late start. It's a 2-hour delay. That's November 5th, late start, 2-hour delay. The day after, November 6th, we also have high school and junior high school conferences from 4 to 7 p.m. That's November 6th. Also, November 6th, Young Elementary and Spring Hill Elementary conferences from 4 to 8 p.m. And then again on November 13th, we have Young Elementary and Spring Hill Elementary conferences from 4 to 8 p.m. November 27th and 28th is Thanksgiving vacation. There will be no school those days. And also on December 1st, it's a conference comp day. We will not have school on that day also. Item number 24, citizens' comments. Citizens' comments will be taken at this time.
If no one has any, I have, November the 1st is the Springfield Women's Club Bazaar here at the high school, and I think everyone's pretty excited to be here at the new school this year. So hoping that you all come out and support the Women's Club. They do a lot for our schools.
And Mary Lou, that's November 1st, which is a Saturday.
Saturday.
And what time does it start? Do you know off the top of your head?
I'm
It's early in the morning.
thinking 9 or 10.
9 or 10 in the morning, and it
Till like
runs.
4 or 5.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And it's here at the new junior high, high school.
Yes,
They do
they're
that.
excited.
They do that every year.
I'd like to also say something, and just quickly to piggyback on what Bill was saying, it makes me very proud to say that a Springfield High School graduate laid the first brick for this building project. Rich Nagel was the first one to lay the brick for this building to start. So I'm very proud. It made me very happy to hear that. On another note, I just want to recognize again Mrs. Betty Kern for all her hard work. And the numbers are just unbelievable. And every month we hear about outstanding people in this district doing outstanding things. Last month it was our 3 counselors from this building that talked about how the creative ideas to use social media to make our students aware of scholarship programs and different things that are offered to them. And prior to that, we had business people that were working with students to help share their experiences and their knowledge with them. And every month we hear something that's just great, and it's nice to hear that, you know, from our support staff, our bus drivers, to our teachers, to our administrators, that everybody is working so well together. And I think a testament to that is the cooperation between both OPSI units and SLAC, and the respect, you know, amongst everybody, that we're able to, you know, extend the contracts like that and move forward without, you know, without any headaches or hardships. So I just want to make a note of that, and thank you, everybody, for everything.
Well said. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. For you college kids that are here tonight, we hope we didn't scare you away. You are choosing a noble profession, that's for sure. Choosing to become a teacher is a wonderful profession. As you've heard some of the things that we said today and stuff, it's a great thing when you're dealing with kids and when you're teaching them life's lessons and stuff. So we encourage you to keep chugging along and stuff. And if you guys ever have any questions from us, you know, please don't hesitate to let us know. We appreciate you coming to see the Springfield School Board today. So, anything else? Okay. Number 25, adjournment. Is it recommended that the meeting be adjourned at this time?
So move.
Second.
Mr. Hess,
Yes.
Mr. Wheeler,
Yes.
Mrs. Dodson,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins.
Yes.